Hi everyone, this is Rakesh. Welcome to VR Computer Education. Today, class 9, we are going to learn preprocessors in C. It's an important topic, that is preprocessors in C. So let us start the topic. So what is preprocessors? So before a C program is compiled in a compiler, the source code is processed by a program called preprocessor. So a C program is compiled in a compiler. Means compilation means what? It will convert into machine language. The source code is converted into machine language. So this process done by a program called as preprocessor. So this process is also called pre-processing. In this, commands are used in preprocessor are called preprocessor directives, and they begin with hash symbol. So before C program is compiled in a compiler, the source code is processed by a program called preprocessor. So here those are also called as preprocessor directives, and they will begin with symbol hash symbol. So your preprocessor directives are four types. They are macros, file inclusion, conditional compilation, next other directives. So these are the major four types of preprocessor directives used in C. There is macros, file inclusion, conditional compilation, and other directives. Let us see one by one. First, macros. What do you mean by macros? So macro defines constant value. So macro will define a constant value. It can be any of the basic data types. So it can be any of the basic data types. Here, small example, data type means it tells what type of data we are storing in a variable. If we are storing numbers, in natural numbers or integers, then that is integer type data. If we are storing characters, that is character data. If we are storing point values, decimal numbers, then that is called float data. So like that, different data types we have. So here, what is macro? Macro defines constant value, and it can be any of the basic data type. So macros are a piece of code in a program which is given some name. Whenever this name is executed by the compiler replaces the name with the actual piece of code. So this is theory part. The practically I will show. Here, hash define directive is used to define a macro. So macro example is hash define directive. Let's see the syntax. See, hash define is the macro. A symbolic name can be any name and its value. Example I'm giving, hash define pi value, that is 3.141. Now this is the constant value. So value of pi is 3.141. That is constant. We cannot change. So to write these type of values, we use macros in C program. Here hash define directive is used to write the macros, and pi is a symbolic name there, and value is 3.141. It is constant. Now in the definition you can see macro defines constant value, and it can be any of the basic data type. Here what type of data we used? Float data type. So point we used there, 3.141 means it is a float data type. Next, See, from the above example, when the compiler executes the name pi, so pi, when the compiler is executing, it replaces with 3.141 value. Whenever a compiler calls pi, then its value is 3.141. The name pi in the macro definition is called macro template. See, pi is called macro template, and 3.141 is macro expansion. This is syntactically we can call like this. So pi hash define is the macro definition, pi is the macro template, and 3.141 is a macro expansion. And one note we have to remember, there is no semicolon at the end of macro definition. See, every statement in the C program we will use a semicolon at the end, because it's the end of the statement or end of the line means. So here there is no semicolon at the end of the macro definition. So macro definition does not require a semicolon at the end. So this is macro. Next, we'll see some example programs on this hash define. So let us see an example programs on macro. So as usually, hash include stdio.h is a header file. So macros are defined after header file. So first, hash define. So macro is a constant value and it can be any of data types. So first I am taking this number as a macro template and its value is 100. I am giving as 100, means in entire program this number value number, see this number macro template, it is called, its value is 100 and it is constant. That is the meaning. Next, hash define pi we have taken. I'm giving its value as 3.141. Next, I'll take hash define some letter, we'll write single quotes. Next, hash define str. I'm taking str is nothing but string, it is, means combination of letters or characters. Just I'll write like this, vr, or else I'll write my name. See, observe, it can be any of the data type. I said it is a constant, it's a number, it is an integer data type, it is a float data type, and it is character data type, and it is string. Combination of characters is called string. So like this you can define the constant values. Now let us print one by one value. Write main function. So void main so printf first I am printing number as taking number. Here I'll use percentage %d. See here, percentage %d means it's a format specifier it is. So what format number we are printing? Integer format. So to print integer format numbers, we'll use %d. After this, I need next line, new line. That's why I'm giving /n, comma, which number, which you want to print here. I want to print this value, number value. See, number value is 100. So here 100 it will print. See, semicolon, end of the line. Next, printf, another. Next, pi value I want to print, and what is the specifier? %f is a floating value, is pi value I want to print here. Next, semicolon. Next, printf letter, or you can say character, that is %c. So one character will print. Characters are printed using this format specifier. Again, /n, comma, letter. Next, printf string I am using. So to print string, you can use %s, str, name is str, semicolon. So all the values have printed here. Let us check. First you have to say, first we have wrote program. See, after writing program we have to save. So file, save. So program, so macro, I'm saving as macro 1, just like that. Save. Next, here build and run. Build and run. So here just again save, build and run. Now you can see first number 100, first format. Next, pi value 3.141. Next, letter R is printed. Next, string Rakesh, it is also printed. So like this will print the values. So this is example 1. So let us see another example using, say, macro with arguments. So arguments will work same like functions. So hash include stdio.h. Next, here we'll do some calculations. So hash define, I want to perform addition, so that's why I'm using add as a name, and I'm passing two variables a comma b, two numbers, and next that two numbers I want to add the numbers which I am passing for A and B. Those two numbers must be added. That's why A plus B. Next, void main function. So here you need to be careful. I'm declaring integer values. That's why I'm using integer data type. Int. I'm taking A1 because variable names should not repeat. That's why I'm taking as A1 comma B1. I'll give values for this. A1 is equals to just like 10. B1 is equal to, I'm giving 20. I'm making C is equals to 0 because I want to calculate total in C. Then I'll write C is equals to add, and the above I have declared add. So this add. How many variables are there? Two variables. So I will pass here A1 comma B1. So here A1 comma B1 contains values. So try to understand carefully. Here A1 means here 10, B1 means 20. So here 10 and 20 are the values of A and B. That is the meaning here. So again, add is the function here. A and B are the two arguments. I want to add each other. So how I am passing values to that function? I have taken like this A1 and B1, and I passed two values here like this. A1 equals to 10, here it is 10, or B1 is equals to 20 like this. Just we'll execute now this printf addition. So which addition I made? Integer. That's why I'll use %d comma C value I want to print. That's it. Let us check the output. So first save. It is macro 2 I am giving. Save. Now here build and run. See here you got 30 as output. So in this way you can use macros as with arguments also you can pass like functions, just it works like a functions concept. So here we try to do in another way. We will try to pass the values in another way. Instead of passing as variables, here another variable have declared. Just I'll remove this. Just I'll take C value. Directly I'll give like this 10, 20. Let us check what is output. See, same, nothing changed. So what is the previous example? Just I have passed as a values in variables. Now here direct values have passed. Here A1 equals to 10, B1 equals to 20. I have taken, just here I wrote A1 comma B1. Same meaning. Here A1 means it is 10, B1 means 20. So those values are assigned to A comma B. Then I want to perform this a plus b, so that's why we got addition as 30. Next here, if you make minus, it will perform subtraction, that is minus 10. So 10 minus 20, small number, that's why you got minus. Next, if you want to make multiplication, just you put here and you change this as multiplication, like this. Next, see, you got 10 into 20, that is 200. So this is the macro. In preprocessor, this is the macros concept. Thank you.